We're going to come back to some transfers in a little bit, but we're kind of on the subject anyway, so you might as well stay here. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow night, Connor? Do you think you're going to collapse or conquer?
I can't give a direct answer now, but it's just going to be on how the team walks out. We can't be having any of this 5 to 10 minute nerve patch, which we've had in literally all of our games leading up to this against Real Madrid and the first leg of PSG. We always have that first 5 minutes where we are nervous and can't settle into a game. We can't be having that. From minute one, we have to be completely on it. And I think I'll be able to tell from the whole squad's reaction, the whole 11's reaction, by the first 5 to 10 minutes if we're going to go for it or not. It's not going to be easy. You know, we really did let ourselves down and give ourselves less of an advantage by not taking something to Paris. And it's all about how the team want to react. Do they want to make history, or do they want to come out like they have done multiple times in semi-finals and like lose Newcastle, for example, and become a shell of themselves and not turn up? I think this team is capable of doing it. We're 1-0 down. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, you can go rewatch it. When I was on the terrace for the 1-0 defeat, I was pretty adamant to say that the tie's over. I think that was emotion at the time. I was very disappointed with the team, and I'm not going to lie, a lot of the team did let me down that day, especially some of our top players. But I did think about it over the couple of days, and I thought, right, it's a shit situation to be in. PSG are going to take the utmost advantage of this and try and solidify the final as quick as they can in that second leg. But if this team can beat Real Madrid in 2 legs, they can go ahead and take on PSG at their ground. We know how good PSG have been this season. I think that they are a top side. They're no easy side to walk by. A lot of fans before the game like to think, we've already beaten them 2-0. Well, no, that was a rotated... Well, listen, we did beat them. It's not untrue. But we did play a heavily rotated PSG side. It wasn't their best side. So there was no way that I took them as a joke. And we shouldn't take them as a joke in the second leg either. We have to go and be our best. And we've shown that we can be great this season. There's been multiple occasions this season that we've shown we can be top and we can be competing with the best and also beat the best. This is the only time we've got to show it now this season. You can't go out there now and give out lackluster performances and not press and not make forward passes. Looking at certain players in our team, we've got to be making the forward passes, not backwards, sideways. This team is capable of going through tomorrow night. It's just up to the fact, will they show the mentality to go ahead and do it? I had a debate with a gal about the mentality against PSG. He believes the mentality was fine. It was the mentality. It wasn't a problem. I believe it was a problem against PSG. Show the right mentality. Show that you want to be champions. And I think we can go ahead and do it. But it's going to, I swear to God, I know my club. It takes me 10 minutes to realize whether we're going to go ahead and do it or not. You can just see by the reaction. I know football's different. Football's not always carbon copy. But PSG have it in their hands. I think if they score first, in my opinion, I think the tie's done. But I think we have to score first, in my opinion. But like I said, I'll repeat myself, this team's shown that we can beat the best. So let's not look like mugs. Please don't make us look like mugs, Arsenal. And let's get to the final.
What did you think specifically with mentality you thought you were lacking in that first game?
I think if you look at the Real Madrid game, for example, just look at the difference. There were players, I called out Saka multiple times. I thought on the ball, he was trying his best, but off the ball, against PSG, they're a team that love to dominate possession, hold possession. You're going to have to press and you're going to have to really, really make them sweat off to get the ball off them and win possession and also make something of it. Saka really let me down in that first leg. Off the ball, listen, people that maybe go back and thinking, is he not fully fit? Off the ball, he was awful and he wasn't trying. And that's unlike Saka because he's normally very good off the ball. Individuals like Martin Odegaard let me down. Timber, he was awful that day. But was that to the fact that Kvaratskhelia was just too good for him? I don't know. If you look at the games, LB, if we want to talk about the Man City, look at the game against you, the 5-1. The mentality for that was correct. We went out right. You could see from minute one the players didn't look right. And that, from that, me, is a mentality issue. They didn't look like their normal selves because we've shown great mentality this season in multiple occasions. And I don't know what it was, but we just didn't walk out like we were ready for a semi-final. But I like to now think that the players know the situation they're in and how important, not only does this matter to this season, but to the club as a whole. They have to come out all guns blazing. 10 out of 10s all over the pitch. And I it's all up to them. Do they want to embarrass themselves on the biggest European stage, or do they want to go ahead and make some history and get to that final and possibly take the trophy home? You know?
I don't know if I really saw a problem with your mentality. I thought Odegaard was poor, and his mentality was a bit weird. But everybody else, I didn't really see too much wrong. I just thought you got outclassed by a better team and better players.
Have you watched a lot of Arsenal this season?
Yeah.
LB? Do you not find that we lacked a load of intensity that day compared to how we normally play attacking football? I felt we lacked so much, and it didn't feel like I was watching the Arsenal that we've played for multiple times this season where we've been really good.
I think it's been like that loads of times this year. Slow, bit lethargic. I don't necessarily think it was anything different to what we've seen. I just think I've seen a lot of people deep in it the day after. I honestly just think they have got better players than you. But that midfield that they have better than yours. Their attack's better than yours. Their two fullbacks are better than yours. I think their weak, and I said this in the preview actually. Said Real Madrid's weak spot for me is their two centre backs. I think the Pacho is massively overhyped. Yeah, I think he's gettable. The problem is you don't have a striker. Yeah, I mean, whichever.
That's another problem as well. Yeah. And that's another issue as well. Deciding to play Trossard up front, and that was on the manager. You know, we could have played Zinchenko in midfield.
Yeah, I think
make substitutions as well.
You talk about to play Marino up top then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have been better off doing that because you need a physical presence up there, man. Them two can be got at 100%. I just think they've got better players. They've got a better manager than you. I think they've got better players than you. And in the end, they only beat you 1-0. So I don't think it was that bad of a result, like in terms of like the quality. But I don't know. Personally, I don't think you'll do it. I've gone for a 1-1 draw tomorrow night, which will obviously see you knocked out. But yeah, man, I just think they've got better players than you.
Do you know one thing I think is working in Arsenal's favour, and it's why right now my gut feeling is Arsenal are going to go through.
Oh yes, here he is. Top Arsenal fan, Terry. Here he is.
I'm putting it out there. You're being written off by a lot of people, and it's silent. There is no noise about the game, and I think that's the best thing Arsenal can do. What I thought you got wrong, and it was hindsight, you built that game up so much. Arteta's speech, the tweet, you sort of did what Madrid did for the second leg. You almost created an expectation of feelings and emotion and how fans would feel in the ground that actually in reality nobody could realize. A bit like, and I know all of us men have done this. Oh, I really like her. I can't wait to go out. You know, she said I can stay over tonight, and you build up. It's going to be the best ever, and you finish, and you lay there, and you're like, it was probably really good, but in your head you built it up to be even better than it could ever have possibly. The fantasy, the reality never quite lives up to the fantasy, and I think Arsenal did a bit of that last week. Fans were flat when the goal went in, and it really took 20 minutes in that first half for Arsenal to play football. You did miss some chances, or Donnarumma saved them as well, which didn't help.
Yeah.
But I think you're doing the right thing right now. It's almost dead. It's like you've deleted your social media accounts. Arsenal fans are very few and far between in terms of finding them, barring content creators. And I think you're doing the right thing. I think you need to almost make this as normal a game as possible. And it's hard. It's impossible to make it like, it's not like you're playing bloody Ipswich at home, but no fanfare, no craziness. I think you're going to do it. I'm actually thinking you're going to do it on penalties as well.
Oh, I can't deal with that. No, I can't.
No, I think it's. I'm going.
It'd be the best way to go through.
I'm going with 2-1 on the night to Arsenal. Arsenal to win on penalties.
I mean, that'll be the best way to go through, but it's also the most like heart pumping. Like you don't want to go into that situation. But listen, for me, it's all about, in my opinion, the first 10 to 15 minutes. It's going to be difficult to show dominance, especially at their ground. I think it may have to be a case of we're going to have to be the one that's going to have to counter-attack constantly. We're going to be defending, then we're not going. I don't think we're going to be able to have much of the ball, but we'll wait and see with our reaction. But for me, the first 10 to 15 minutes, I think will determine how we'll react to that game. But we've got to see the Arsenal that played Madrid, and it's as simple as that. And people can say, "Oh, but this Madrid team isn't good." You know, you're this and that. Oh, all these different excuses. At the end of the day, we still went ahead and beat the current European champions to put us in this position that we're in. Give us that same reaction, Arsenal, and we will, in my opinion, go through. But I say all these speeches, but for me, as soon as if we go 1-0 down, I think it could be a turning.
My problem is, bro, I don't see a world in which PSG don't score.
Well, that's the
and that means you've got to score too.
Dembele's back. So yeah,
I just don't see Arsenal necessarily scoring. My problem with Arsenal, is like.
But then
who
again,
scores the
best
goals?
defensive record in the league this season. But then again, we don't have Gabriel, so that could be a factor. But it's
Yeah.
a true stat.
Yeah,
It's a
but
true
who
stat.
scores the goals for Arsenal, man?
We've still got Saka. If Martinelli has a fantastic game, we know how great he can be. If Marino's up front, I mean, I was always negative about Marino being up front, but LB, we do have assets to score goals. Like, it's not like we've been. Listen, I want a striker like no tomorrow, but we can't act like we haven't got players who haven't scored goals. We scored 5
I
against
just think
Real Madrid.
there's far too much pressure on Saka to score the goals if he ain't scoring.
Yeah, but LB, technically, shouldn't there be? Because he's our best player. He's our best.
Yeah,
attacker.
but like outside of that, what Marino, a fucking midfielder playing as a striker, like.
We haven't got many choices, you know.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's because you had a trash transfer window in the summer.
Well, we've had injuries too, but no, it's true. We had an awful window. And we should have signed a striker. But listen, anything can happen. LB. Anything can happen.
And his mates know best, and they
We
decided
could score from a set piece. LB, you never know. You never know what will happen. We've got multiple places we could score goals at the end of the day.
Could I ask you a question, Con? How angry do you think rivals would be if you won the semi-final and maybe the final by scoring from set pieces?
Cry. We've got a Champions League. I don't care. Cry all you want. I mean, we've been known for being set piece FC, not recently, but we've been known for it. If we won both legs from those kind of Declan Rice free kicks and that esque, I mean, you can't even complain about a set piece with the way he scored those free kicks. Like, set piece FC aside, them free kicks were immense. If we went ahead and done something like that, I mean, Terry, I don't care how we win the trophy, just win it. I couldn't care.
Oh, I know you don't care. I love stuff like that. Like, for me, if I could pick a way of winning the Europa League final, it's we get a final whistle goes on the 95th minute, but they review something and they have to restart the game for a penalty, and then Bruno Fernandes tucks it away because it would just boil more piss. So for me, I like Bruno Fernandes scoring a goal after like we did it when we beat. It actually happened to us when we beat Brighton about 5 years ago. We got a penalty after the full-time whistle went. And I just love that. And a part of me would just laugh. Maybe it's the content creator in me watching the hate-alongs. Can you imagine the Champions League final? Arsenal been pretty average. Corner gets swung in and Saliba knocks it in at the back post of his head. It would just...
Especially if it was like a 1-0. If it was like a 1-0, that was the one to win the game.
I love shit like that.
Of course, it'd make the win sweeter, wouldn't it? But I'd take the win anyway, even if it's all own goals from the other team. I don't care. Just give me the trophy at this point, you know. And I mean, it would be a statement as well. And I'm always one to say, every team gets injuries. You know, it's something you've got to deal with in football. And even with Arsenal's injury record this season, yes, we've been unlucky, but we didn't prepare well in the summer for it. If you really look at it with our recruitment, but then again, how could we have known who would have been injured, so and so? But that's a debate for another day. But to win the Champions League with what we've been given for injuries this season, I mean, that's something to say as well. With no striker, that's it's something to put out there as well. But hey, I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. I just want us to win this football match, and then we focus on the final. It's as simple as that. And that's the main focus.